Hi, I'm Eric Williford, the director of Cold Blows the Wind, and yeah, so I figured we'd talk a little bit about horror movies. So I would say my first horror movie was actually, I don't know if I can really count it as my first horror movie, but I'm going to do it anyways because it was The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. The reason I'm not sure if I can count it is because I didn't watch the entire movie straight through. What happened was my aunt wanted to watch it, and we were visiting her. And so me and my cousin and I think my younger sister, she told us all to go in the other room and play because she really wanted to watch The Fly. And so instantly we're like, oh, we're not supposed to watch this. So clearly we need to watch this. So she was watching The Fly in the other room, and we were supposed to be playing with whatever. And so we would constantly sneak out, come down the hallway, and watch like 5 minutes of it until either one of two things happened. Either she realized we were there and she would tell us to go back into the room, so then we'd all run into the room and laugh and be like, oh, we watched it. Or something terrifying or gross or weird or creepy would happen, and we would be scared to death, and then we would run back in the room and be like, oh my god, that was so scary. And then be like, you want to go back and watch it again? And we'd do that. So my first horror movie was The Fly, but we probably only watched like 30 minutes of it. But that was enough to really get me into horror movies because it wasn't just the movie itself, but also the idea of watching something we weren't supposed to be watching, which was like really cool and dangerous and forbidden. And I was probably like 8 years old, 9 years old, maybe something like that. Yeah, probably like 8, 9, maybe 10 when I saw that. So that was like definitely like a moment for me. I wouldn't say it like influenced me, but it definitely made me want to do horror movies, and it's like seared into my brain, like as a kid, watching pieces of The Fly from around the corner and trying not to get caught. I would say my favorite 5 horror movies are probably, oh man, Reanimator, Evil Dead, Dead Alive, Eraserhead, and Return of the Living Dead. So those are like my 5. In case you can't tell, I love like 80s, early 90s horror movies because that's kind of what I came up on. So in like horror comedy, I feel like is probably one of the types of movies that I've always really loved, and I feel like they don't really do that really well or really often anymore. So that's kind of a bummer for me. But like, yeah, those are definitely like my favorite 5 horror movies. But if you ask me, you know, in 6 months from now, I might throw like Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there, the original one, or yeah, or maybe even like Scream, because when that came out, I was like, it was awesome. Or the original Halloween could sometimes float in and out of the list. But those are the big ones. Oh, also, special shout out to Lucio Fulci's Zombie, which I feel like doesn't get enough credit, but that would also be like probably like an honorable mention, and another one that could like float in and out of the list, because like, how do you not love a movie with a zombie fighting a shark? Currently, there's a couple filmmakers that I used to really like, and I hate to say this and it sounds awful and snobbish, but they don't really bring it the way that they used to. So like, there's filmmakers who, if you had asked me this like 10 years ago, I'd be like boom, 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 and just rattle off like 5 filmmakers who were like my favorite filmmakers doing stuff. But like now, those 5 filmmakers, I haven't really dug their last 2 to 3 films, and I don't know if this is like my tastes are changing, or if maybe what they want to say as filmmakers is kind of changing because they're a little older. I'm not sure. So I'm not going to say who those filmmakers are because I don't want it to be a whole thing. Not that anybody really cares what I think, but you know how it is with the interwebs. But so I'm not going to say, I mean, probably Eggers. I think he does really cool stuff. I really liked Hereditary, and I really liked Midsommar. So like, those films are pretty cool. But again, I wouldn't say that they're like filmmakers I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. But they are probably the closest thing to being those kind of filmmakers. But there's definitely like 10 older filmmakers that I really love. They just haven't done anything recently, so I wouldn't consider them like current, if you know what I mean. Like John Carpenter would be one, but I don't know that I'd consider him current. So, you know, Cold Blows the Wind is out now, so please go check that out. We worked really hard on it, and we think we made something really cool that's like a throwback, that's best viewed with like popcorn and pizza and beer and whatever booze of choice you have or whatever other things you're into. That's what it's made for. And for people who love movies that are different, bold, audacious, that's what Cold Blows the Wind is. So my newest project after Cold Blows the Wind, now that that's out into the world, my newest project is actually a book. And it's a collection of 3 horror novellas that I wrote. It's called The Big Decay. Please excuse the shameless plug, but you know, us artists gotta do what we gotta do. So this book is my latest book. It was just released a couple weeks ago, and it is available on my website. But it's also available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes & Noble. You can get it at all major online retailers, Kobo, Apple. It's available at all those places. You can order signed paperbacks off my website, thedeathpix.com. And if you want, you know, don't take my word for it. Go check out the reviews on Goodreads and see for yourself if it's something that you would be into. But yeah, this is my latest project, and I always have like scripts, and I'm always like in talks right now on a couple of different film projects, but they're not far enough along to where I would feel comfortable saying them because they could fall through, because that's how filmmaking is. But this is out right now. So if you love horror novels, if you love reading, check out The Big Decay. It's my latest book. It's my latest project. And also check out Cold Blows the Wind. Thanks for hanging out, and catch you next time. Bye.